Hello again, everybody! Zack Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight. Well, Thursday, October the 4th, 2012. Overall, we heading on down the TNA Bound for Glory, which is, of course, in 10 days. We got some matches added. Plus, we saw Sting's partner for Bound for Glory. I didn't think it was going to be... I sort of forgot that Sting was already one of the first two guys going up against the two guys from 8s and 8s. But we still get a partner who we'd find out later on in the evening. Plus, we saw the debut of King Mo in a okay Impact tonight. Some decent things. Corey towards Bound for Glory. Feud intensified with Aries and Hardy. As we would see in the main event this evening. Once again, in the main event, Austin and Hardy have their issues once again stemming as the rivalry intensifies with Bound for Glory. Now, we start off Impact with a match. I didn't think we were going to start out with a match so quickly, knowing TNA's tendency to talk a lot. They'll probably save that for next week, since it's the Impact before Bound for Glory. Anyway, we saw Mr. Anderson being the first man to try to fight to impress Hogan and Sting to be Sting's partner at Bound for Glory. That was basically the theme of the night, is like, who's going to be Hogan, who's going to be chosen by Hogan and Sting to be Sting's partner. Every guy had a lot to prove, blah, 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 blah. So we had Anderson taking on Gunner in our first match with, of course, Kid Cash at ringside. Okay opener. Gunner took control for most of the match. He was like dominating most of the match. It's okay, I think like a 2 or 3 minute matchup. But in the end, Gunner made a little bit of a mistake, and Anderson nailed the mic check out of nowhere with a 1-2-3 victory over Gunner. Somewhat impressive and a win. Come from behind victory for Mr. Anderson, of course, with the intentions of impressing Hogan and Sting to try to be Sting's partner at Bound for Glory against the two mystery men from Aces and 8s. Of course, Sting was seen at the backstage area watching Anderson's match against Gunner very closely. Of course, he would take Anderson's match under consideration big time as we head towards that decision later on in the evening. Now, on to our Knockouts tag match, Tara, who's got this little storyline right now with a little Hollywood boyfriend, of course, here as well. That Hollywood boyfriend storyline is kind of a weird thing that's been building up. Of course, we saw on the cell phone last week, and we see it this week on the cell phone with a Hollywood boyfriend, whoever it is, storyline or not. Talking about things with her partner Gail, trying to talk to her. Of course, Tara's thinking all about herself, her boyfriend, and of course, the TNA Knockouts title, who is currently held by Testmarker. Of course, Tara would have a shot to make Testmarker weaken before Bound for Glory, as she would team up with Gail against ODB and Testmarker. In a decent tag match, of course, Gail and Tara had their problems stemming from the backstage area, with Tara blind tagging herself in against Testmarker, getting Testmarker the decent showing. Okay tag match from Diva for the Knockouts, because like I said, Divas suck compared to Knockouts. Although there was like a Bronco busted by Testmarker midway too. Anyway, Gail was in most of the match until Tara backed herself in. And Testmarker got in like the last minute of the match against Tara. And Tara, using Gail Kim as a battering ram, used that advantage near the end to wham Gail against Testmarker to get Testmarker for the Riddle's Peak. And Tara did pin the TNA Knockouts champion in a tag match, sending a huge message to Miss Testmarker for the match at Bound for Glory, being named Teacher Against Mentor. Teacher Against Student, of course. Tara and Testmarker, very successful tag team. Tara being like a mentor to Testmarker until Tara turned heel, which I saw coming a few weeks back. When Tara did turn heel, I did see that coming. I have wrestling instincts for watching wrestling so long. I know when certain spots are going to happen. Speaking of knowing certain spots, I kind of saw this spot coming from a mile away when we saw Al Snow come out next to address the whole Joey Ryan thing. Now, Bruce Pritchard's been very vocal about trying to keep TNA professional as possible. We did see a clip of Bruce Pritchard later on chastising D'Lo Brown for Matt Morgan, who is no longer, as of right now, contracted by TNA, invading a TNA house event. Who knows, maybe Matt Morgan is coming back after all. Seeing him in the direct insurance commercial still, so we'll see what happens with Matt Morgan in the future. But of course, Bruce Pritchard chastised Al Snow for the whole Joey Ryan thing. Of course, touching his hand on Joey Ryan, who is, of course, as of right now, not an Impact wrestler, but seeing this Joey Ryan thing unfold, with Joey interrupting Impacts for the last couple of months, since not getting the gut check contract, which he didn't deserve. And it seemed like Joey was going to eventually sign into TNA after all. But as we saw Al Snow shake hands with Joey Ryan, trying to kiss and make up, apologizing for everything. When Joey Ryan was signing that contract, I was like, oh, I know why. I was like, oh. And Al Snow was smiling. I was like, I know why Al's smiling. Because now that Joey Ryan's contracted, he's now no longer legally... He can legally beat the crap out of Joey. Now he's contracted. And that's what Al Snow said. Joey, you're not contracted full time. You're only on TNA contract for one night at Bound for Glory against me. In a kind of a gut check match that Al Snow challenged him to a few weeks ago. So it'll be Joey Ryan against Al Snow, the end of this little silly thing at Bound for Glory, with Joey trying to fight for a TNA contract. Hopefully, Al Snow wins. So, what does everybody want? Head! What does everybody want? Joey Goy bye-bye. So I hope Joey Ryan goes bye-bye after this match against Al Snow. Al Snow's now trying to fix it with legally making Ryan contracted for one night so he can beat the crap out of him legally instead of having him uncontracted and probably get a lawsuit. So there you go. That match for Bound for Glory made. Also made is a television title match made for Bound for Glory. But before that, we would find out who the champion would be. As Samoa Joe would defend the television championship. Of course, he won it last week after being chosen by Hulk Hogan to face off against Mr. Anderson. Joe would make his first title defense against Rob Van Dam, who was the former ECW champion of television, champion ECW. And now Joe, they didn't say this on the air, but officially, I forgot to mention this too, Joe's now the Triple Crown, the Grand Slam winner in TNA. I know Detroit's own Cabrera, of course, became the first guy since '67 to win the Triple Crown in baseball. Triple Crown / Grand Slam winner in TNA is Samoa Joe. After winning the television title, aka formerly Legends, he's the first man to ever own every title in TNA. TNA World title, Tag title, X Division, and now television. So he won all 4 major titles in TNA for male. So like I said, Samoa Joe would defend against RVD. RVD was on the offensive most of the matchup. Of course, he had to be on the offensive big time to counter the muscular, the stronger man, Samoa Joe. RVD now rolling thunder a few times. He was ready to deliver the 5-star Frog Splash, but he took too much time and got caught on the top with a Muscle Buster by Samoa Joe with the victory. I think it's like Joe's first pinfall victory in a while. I've been seeing him so many people. Of course, that's how he won the TV title last week by literally choking the hell out of Mr. Anderson to get the TNA TV title, but he got the pinfall win tonight. And Samoa Joe retained the TV title. It has been revealed tonight that he will defend the title at Bound for Glory against his former tag team champion partner, Magnus. Of course, they've been having a little feud going on, so we'll probably see that intensify by next week. So there you go. Samoa Joe officially taking on Magnus for the TV title at Bound for Glory after a successful title defense tonight against RVD. Now, after that, I think we had did we have a match or a segment? I forgot. I forgot what was after the, I think it was a match. I think it was a match. I think it was Angle taking on Chavo Guerrero. Of course, a lot of people, like I said, the theme of the night was everyone trying to impress Hulk Hogan and Sting to be the TNA guy to team up with Sting against Aces and Eights at Bound for Glory. Angle was seen talking to Hulk Hogan, talking about doing double duty. Meaning he would not only would sacrifice being in the TNA Tag Team title match as well as being in the match with Sting. And Daniels and Kaz, seeing this, wanted to stir up the pot between their challengers at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, Chavo and Hernandez, and AJ and Angle, which they kind of started last week doing the triple threat match between Daniels, Chavo, and Angle, stirring the pot between the two challenging teams. Kind of stirred it up again tonight. telling everybody, oh, Angle's doing double duty, meaning he'll wrestle both Chavo and Hernandez, blah, 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 stirring the pot. And that went to that intensity intensified in our next match, which was AJ's partner, Angle, taking on Chavo, as I mentioned. Now, there was a couple botches I seen. I think Angle did a little total wall thing, kind of botched. I think Chavo botched the Hurricanrana. And you can expect kind of things like that when these two have wrestled many times in WWE and, of course, TNA as well, of course. Decent matchup from these two. Chavo and Angle delivered 3 suplexes. Of course, Angle delivered his 3 Germans. And we all know Chavo delivered the 3 Amigos. Chavo's way to deliver the frog splash, but Angle caught him in time. Of course, Chavo missed. And Angle's waiting for the Angle lock. But the ending came when Hernandez came into trying to go into the ring. And that short distraction from Hernandez was enough for Chavo to get a wall up and a victory on Kurt Angle thanks to a little assist from Hernandez. At the end of the match, like I said, the intensity, the stirring the pot a bit from Kaz and Daniels on the 2 challenging teams intensified as AJ and Angle confronted Chavo and Hernandez as the tag champions were watching, saying, go ahead. We want to weaken both of you guys so we can be champions. Blah, 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 blah. So we can retain the bound for glory. But then Angle and AJ, cooler heads prevailed. They were focused more on the titles, although their little situation may still continue on. But of course, even though they have themselves, both teams are worried about each other. Of course, they have to worry about the other team involved in this triple tag match at Bound for Glory. Daniels and Kaz, who are currently the champions. So, of course, Chavo wins the match thanks to a little assist from Hernandez. Of course, adding more fuel to the fire for this triple threat tag team title match at Bound for Glory. Now, on to our next match, which was another title match. We saw the television title being defended. And now we saw the X Division title being defended. I haven't seen this guy on television in a long time. Zema Ion defending his TNA X Division Championship against a former TNA X Division Champion, Doug Williams. It was a blink and miss match. Basically, Zema Ion got, well, apparently, he almost got the victory. Of course, he's been known. He's pretty effing dangerous, as he referred to himself. Of course, injury people like Sonjay Dutt, the neck injury to Jesse Sorensen, and apparently might have injured by Douglas Williams, storyline or not, tonight on Impact in a very quick match. It was like a blink and miss match. I was like, it's over already? That's what it was. A quick match up about a minute. Doug tried to get Zema Ion out of there, but of course Zema got the advantage and got an armbar on Doug Williams, seemingly defending the title, but he wouldn't let go of the hold. He had the hold on. He was trying to really break the arm of Doug Williams, wanting to injure everybody one by one, blah, 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 because he's cocky little motherfucker and pretty effing dangerous, as he calls himself. But since he would have released the hold, Doug Williams won by disqualification. So who knows? Maybe a rematch may take place at Bound for Glory between these two. If Doug's shoulder injury is not fake, I mean, it's fake and not real. But we'll see what happens. Zema Ion, well, thought he won, but the decision was reversed after he wouldn't break the armbar hold on Doug in a very quick matchup. Now, on to our, like I said, very quick segment. Very quick match. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't even a match. It was like a segment. It was like a blink or miss match. So, there you go. Now, on to the next segment, which, of course, involved the official TNA debut of King Mo, the former Strikeforce fighter, who's not only going to be in MMA and Bellator, but also he's going to be TNA as a wrestler. Last week, he was, of course, named by Hulk Hogan as the special enforcer for the street fight between James Storm and Bobby Roode. Now, James Storm came out first, talking about this feud between him and Roode, starting about a year ago, of course, when Roode turned his back on James Storm to, of course, be cocky, focus on himself, and, of course, be the leader of the Selfish Generation, the It Factor, whatever he wants to call himself, and become the TNA World Champion around this time last year. Of course, the feuds intensified after Storm left after lockdown, but it really heated up after, of course, Roode cost Storm the chance to be champion again by screwing him in a Bound for Glory Series semifinal against Bully Ray at No Surrender. Of course, this, like I said, the feuds intensified. Of course, Storm came out talking about the referees being pushed around because we saw in their match 2 weeks ago that kind of set the fuel for this match. That no normal referee can referee this match since both guys pushed around the referee. So, of course, Hogan had to bring in King Mo. And as Storm was introducing him, Rude interrupted, talking about, "There's no man that'll stop me from beating your ass, James Storm, leaving you in a bloody mess." That's TV 14 for you, not TV PG, WWE. They show blood in TNA. And don't have to stop the fucking match to wipe up the blood. Blah, 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 blah. No cuts don't count, Sheamus. Anyway, so Storm's about, Rude's talking about how he's going to beat up Rude. And that no man can stop him, especially this King Mo dude. And that was a signal when King Mo came out and made his official TNA debut by not saying a word. He came in because Rude's like, "I would tell King Mo everything I just said about him. They can't do anything to me," to his face. So I was like, I said, the signal for King Mo to come out. And King Mo was confronted by Rude. And Rude took his jacket off, ready to fight. They were both in suits. Rude was in a suit. But King Mo pushed down Bobby Roode, the equivalent of when Samoa Joe headbutted Kurt Angle, kind of like that, but not exactly that epic. That's what happened. Like, he shoved Roode down. Roode ran out of the ring. He ran to the back because it was on the ramp. So he pushed him on the ramp. King Mo did. Pushed Roode. Went to the ring. Said nothing. Drank some beers with James Storm. That was it. Apparently, King Mo's a good guy in this situation. So there you go. King Mo makes his official TNA debut tonight by pushing down Bobby Roode, of course, taking no shit from him, heading towards being the special enforcer at Bound for Glory in the match between James Storm and Bobby Roode. Now, speaking of matches at Bound for Glory, we're on to our next match. Now, of course, Bully Ray, one of many people who was wanting to impress Sting and Hogan, asked Sting, "What do I have to do to impress you, Sting?" "Be a bully! Take out somebody!" Well, he decided to kill two birds with one stone and take on both Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy. Well, Bully Ray actually challenged Jeff Hardy first, but after Austin Aries wanted to get his hands on Bully, Hardy's like, "How about we make it a triple threat tonight?" Of course, in the beginning of this backstage segment, it seemed that Aries and Hardy were cool after their little tag team match last week, but after Hardy inserted Aries in his match against Bully Ray tonight, the feud kind of intensified, especially with the ending of this matchup. Bully Ray was somewhat dominant most of the match, but of course Hardy and Aries tried to have their chance against Mr. Bully Ray. This matchup was the okay matchup for being a triple threat matchup. Bully Ray was dominant most of the match, but of course Hardy was trying to impress everybody. Of course, it was like a one-upmanship affair between Aries and Hardy. Was more like a "I can do anything better than you" match. Of course, this feud intensifies from that. And then it came when Bully Ray was trying to use the TNA title belt on Jeff Hardy, but the referee caught him in time. But then he pushed Jeff Hardy onto Austin Aries, giving Jeff Hardy the bomb and a victory for Bully Ray. After wanting and having Hardy run into Aries by accident after Bully ducked and attempted attack by Hardy. Of course, after the match, Hardy and Aries had their war of words after Bully Ray got the victory after Hardy ran into Aries by accident. Of course, this whole jealousy thing is still continuing on. Of course, Austin hearing the Hardy chants. That's what it's all about. Aries not being the hunted, but the hunter, wanting what Jeff Hardy has. A successful fan base that loves him no matter what, despite the fact he speaks no words and smokes a lot of weed. Anyway, I didn't say that, but you know what I meant. So this feud between Aries and Hardy is building up somewhat slowly, but we'll see how it intensifies by next week at the next Impact. Of course, Sting wanted to wait to the last match because he thinks Bully Ray should be the guy to team up with him against Aries and the Nates. So after Bully Ray got the victory over Jeff Hardy and Aries, after of course Hardy inadvertently ran into Aries, of course running into the Bubba Bomb, Sting and Hogan came out to name Sting's partner. Hogan had a partner chosen. Sting wanted to see Bully, but apparently Hogan's choice turned out to be the choice that they were going to make. Hogan's choice was Mr. Anderson. Now, Mr. Anderson was about to come out to say, "Okay, I'm in," but just as Anderson was probably going to come out, I thought that Bully Ray was going to attack him, but it turned out it was Ace who nailed the who nailed the shot, attacking Mr. Anderson in the back outside the impact zone after being shown before the main event. Talking about this whole thing, of course, having Joseph Parks, aka Abyss, in their clubhouse. Now, as Anderson was seen laid out by Aces and Eights, Bully Ray came out saying, "You chose Anderson? Look what happened, Hogan. Your guy just got attacked. Your boy just got jumped. Sting, convince Hogan I'm the guy who should fight for TNA, that should fight alongside you. Love me or hate me, I want Aces and Eights more than anybody." So, with Bully Ray proving his point against Hardy and Aries, and of course with Anderson laid out, Sting and Hogan had no other choice but to sign Bully Ray, well, kind of agree, on Bully Ray being Sting's partner at Bound for Glory against two members of Aces and Eights in a high-stakes matchup. Of course, if Sting and Bully Ray win, Team TNA, Aces and Eights go bye-bye. Aces and Eights win, they get full access to the Impact Zone and raise a lot of hell, basically. So there you go. A lot of this high-impact matchup, impact-wise, set with this. So there you go. Sting teams up with Bully Ray. Here to get Hardy and Aries is slowly building, but probably by next week it'll really intensify. King Mo debuts, pushing down Bobby Roode, proving he's a good guy. Take no shit from Roode in this case. And a couple more. I think the television title was the only match made tonight. We're probably gonna find out an X Division match probably for the pay-per-view next week or whatever. Because like I said, we're very, very close to Bound for Glory now, so more matches need to be made. So there you go. That is it for my Impact review for tonight. See you all later. Bear in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. See you all later. Yeah.